and welcome back to another part of my F1 2019 career mode here today for a bit of a different video, and I'm going to explain why, because basically my editing software it just wouldn't let me import the files for Monaco, so it wouldn't let me import the files for the race, for the second half of the race, and for qualifying. So all there is the first 20 odd laps, I think there is. So I'm going to show you that, and then at the end of the video, so stick around for that, I will show you the results for Monaco, along with obviously you'll know Canada as well. So this is a start. I had problems in qualifying. I was going to try, this was the last race the first gearbox had to complete, but I was going to try and risk it and try and like power on through the race, but I lost the gear in qualifying, so I was like, well, I'm going to be stupid if I don't take the penalty. So I think I qualified 15th, and then obviously I took the penalty, so we started last. We got a goodish start though, as you can see whilst I'm explaining this, and we're going to go for a little lunge down inside of Lucas Weber. We're on the hards. I thought, strategy wise, we might as well start on the hards and just see how far they can go, and then go on to the mediums. If they go far enough, maybe even onto the soft, but I'll tell you now, we do go on to the mediums. So the race is, someone goes for a little latch, you know someone's going to have pits, that's a Ferrari. It was a boring race, to be honest. It was just those Monaco races where they're more fun kind of doing them, because you're so kind of concentrating that so much not to hit the barrier. But down our inside comes Vettel and just turns into the barrier. In my view of that, I left enough space. I'm not sure why he's going down the inside there. Should have backed off, in my opinion. We can have a little replay of it now. As I left him space. I mean, it's so tight down there at the Nobel chicane that I left him as much space as I could. But he's going to try it again here, Vettel. I leave him even more space, and he does exactly the same thing. Bottas looking at maybe trying it in the background as well, as we can ride on board now with Vettel. We have a little look at a replay. You can see what is he doing there. Obviously from Bottas' point of view, it looks like he just turned into me. But let me know in the comments what you think of that. If you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe, subscribe. This is pretty much it for Monaco. You can see this, I cut it, there was obviously more footage of this, but it was me just going round and round and round and round, and no one wants to see that. So that was the end of the kind of what I could record of Monaco. So let's go to the Canadian Grand Prix.
Once again beside the St. Lawrence River here in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. The event first moved to a variant of this track back in 1978. It was won by none other than Gilles Villeneuve, the first Canadian to ever win his home race, and in whose honour the circuit would be renamed. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history. It could be the cause of a safety car today. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Can we talk about Mercedes? What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Grosjean, Stroll, Hülkenberg and Lucas Faber, Magnussen, Perez, Kimi Raikkonen and Ricciardo, Russell, Kubica, Devon Butler and Lando Norris. Brown and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So we're here on the grid in Canada. I had a lot of issues in qualifying. I qualified last, not because my pace was shocking. We're going to do the 2-stop here, just quickly while it's on the screen. 2 sets of medium and then onto the set of the soft tyres to finish off the race. But basically, in Monaco, I used a slightly worn engine because it was Monaco. You didn't renew the engine power. And then what I forgot to do, I did practice for Canada. I then went on into the race and into qualifying, and forgot to change it. So I had to change it, and they got the penalty for doing that. But here we go then. It's lights out, and away we go here in Canada. The 2 championship challengers get away well at front. It's the kind of Toro Rosso backwards. We go for the lunge down the inside of several cars there. We're getting both McLarens, our teammate, and maybe even both Williams here, as we just get ahead of George Russell. We're going to have a little look at getting past Robert Kubica here, but we can't quite do it yet. It's a goodish start, but here we come then, as we come gunning through the 2 McLarens, still side by side there. Butler and Lando Norris, as George Russell's kind of sticking with us here, and that's something not really that good, but hopefully he can maybe get up the field, because you want to see Williams up there, especially the 2 I think there's actually Albon, our teammate, and Butler side by side, but we go down inside of Kubica, and you saw in the little onboard that Ricciardo squeezed us. But here we come now on the back of Kubica. Maybe have a little look as we keep onto the hairpin again, down the inside we go on Kubica. He squeezes just like Ricciardo did, which was slightly annoying. But we're going to have a little look. We're going to sail him right round his outside at the final chicane, making sure not to hit the all the champions. But Kubica defends it, and we go for the double overtake into turn 1. Great move there. Gone a little bit wide, make sure we're okay on the outside, and we're past Ricciardo and Kubica there. And now we can start pushing for Kimi Raikkonen in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. It's just Alfa Romeo now, isn't it? But we're closing in on him as we head down into the hairpin. As Ricciardo's having a little look at getting back past us here, I'm not letting that happen. Not after how aggressive he was, as we tap the back of Raikkonen there. And now we'll see if we can get a lunge. Not a lunge move going, but look at the state of that. We've gone miles back as the 2 Alphas are side by side. That's caught Raikkonen napping. I think it's Raikkonen. As we're side by side. Yes, it is Raikkonen. We're going to swap him, the dummy, and go down his inside into turn 1. Lovely move there. These mediums felt really, really strong on the Toro Rossos. Here we go on Lucas Weber. We're past him. He's on the hards, so not sure what strategy he's doing. Maybe trying to do the 1-stop as we got into the final chicane. And that is another job well done for the moves. As here we are now on the back of Sergio Perez. We're going to try going round his outside at the hairpin, but we've just gone wide. That's not going to work out, as now we've got a run on him up the final straight and into the final chicane. Can we do it? We're going to go to the outside. Surely not all the way around the outside, but we're going to try it here. All the way right round the outside. And we've done it. What a move that one is. It's 10 out of 10 for that move, as we cut on to not a lot really happening after that for me. As we cut on to Verstappen getting past the house of Roman Grosjean, and then heads into the pits, as there's the front 3. It's Hamilton by Vettel by Charles Leclerc up front. As we're up ahead, there's the 2, there's Hulkenberg in the Renault and Magnussen side by side. We've gone to the inside of both of them. They've held each other up. That was something that was very dominant in 2018, but here we go down the inside of both of them, and a lovely, lovely move there, just like the Kubica Ricciardo move he pulled earlier on in the race. As we cut to Kubica, and he's out of the Canadian Grand Prix just as we were talking about him. His engine's blown, and that's his day over. And there's the confirmation that Kubica has retired. As here we come out, we're extending our stint now. Everyone else is kind of pitted that we're fighting. Now we're left fighting the Ferraris, as you saw Hamilton just coming out the pits. But I didn't want to push him, but Leclerc's just pushed us off the track there. I quite like Leclerc, but not really after that. I've kind of let both Ferraris through. I didn't want to hold myself up. I needed to just push as hard as I could. But obviously they're on a different strategy. They're a whole pit stop in front of me. As Bottas comes out the pits, then he wipes us into the wall there. As we try and let him through on the outside, but he just backed off. I was trying my hardest to let him through because I just wanted him to go past so I could concentrate. And here he is then on the new DRS. And he's going to his inside and he's locked up and he's re-overtaking him again. For God's sake, Bottas, just go past us. But here he is. Third time lucky. He does overtake us there. And we can get our head down until we pit. But here we come then on the lap we're meant to pit. Verstappen on our outside. And we've made contact and gone straight on into the pits. Right. Now here's story time for this. I'll show you in the replay. I thought I backed off enough for him to go around my outside, but then he just stopped. You can see here, I was turning, he was turning to go around the corner. I was going straight on to try and go into the pits. I thought I covered the outside enough that he wouldn't go for it, but he still did, which was slightly annoying. So that's held us a lot of time. And Verstappen, you can see here, he gets re-overtaken by the Haas of Grosjean as we come into the pits now. I'm not sure if that's real life. We probably would have got a penalty for that. But into the pits we come to make our first stop onto the medium compound tyre. That's a good, decent stop, 2.4. So just under the average pit stop, not as quick as Red Bulls in Silverstone the other weekend. As we just across the right line there, we got a warning for that. But we've got our head down and we've caught the back of this massive pack that's been held up by Nico Hülkenberg. I think a good 5-6 cars in this battle, as we're right on the back of Lucas Weber. We've had to go re-overtake these cars now after the pit stops, and we go down the inside of Lucas Weber there, and that is a lovely move on the German. So here we go now on Ricciardo. We're going to try and get up his inside into turn 1. We tried to get him down the inside into the final chicane. That wasn't happening, but down his inside we go. And now right round his outside we're going again, and we've got the move done, I think. Yes, we have. As Albon goes into the pits there, we can get on chasing those cars ahead of us, which is Sergio Perez, and we're going to go down his inside at the hairpin. Our first hairpin move, and what a lovely move that one is. But he might have a go at getting us back here. We're going to have a poor exit, but here comes Ricciardo on Sergio Perez. Perez a slight lock-up, and Ricciardo's got the move done here, just I think. But Perez is still alongside him as we just cut just to Ricciardo's point of view and into turn 1. Can't quite see. Ricciardo's got the job done. Great move there by the Aussie. As Raikkonen now retires from the Grand Prix, and unlike Kubica, no smoke, so it makes me think that it is electrical, not engine related. So he's out in safe place for Verstappen parked up. But here we come then as we nearly hit the wall. Hülkenberg and Magnussen go into the pits, and then this is where we just need to get our head down. Here comes Charles Leclerc. I'm just going to let him through, just like I was saying earlier. But he held us up a bit. He only just gets through the chicane in front of us. So he's gone, but here comes Max Verstappen. Again, he's not going to be our best friend, is he? As we go into turn, I'm not sure what turn it is, I'll just say like 9, I think it is. As we come on into the pits to make our final stop onto the soft compound tyre. And now this is just going to be going. They're going to fall off the cliff fairly quickly, I think, but hopefully they don't. It's just an awful getaway because I dropped the clutch way too early, and then I had to re-engage it and then go again. But we're going to see if we can beat out Lucas Weber here, and we have. And now it's just about getting our head down and catching those in front. So we're on lap 29 off 37. And here we come now. They're side by side, the two houses, they both lock up. We're going to try and get our nose in here. We can't quite do that. And I think Magnussen does get past Grosjean here. And this race, honestly, the car felt unbelievable. It was right where I wanted it, the car. It just felt that I just could carry on pushing as we go down the inside of Grosjean, but the car, it felt unbelievable. There was no limit. That's what it felt like in the car. I could just push and push and push, and the car would just deal with it. It felt lovely. As we are on the back of Magnussen, I'm going to go to his outside and get the job done on his outside. We're going to fly past him. This Honda engine is very, very strong, even with the upgrades that we've done. Even before, I think, Australia, Bahrain, it was still strongish, but it obviously wasn't as strong as this. But here we go then, on the back of Sergio Perez. Once again, I think this is the third time we've had to overtake him this race, as we fly past him, which is very surprising. That racing point fairly quick in a straight line. But as we move on to lap 34 or 37, I think we can still get Stroll and still get P7 here. So we're going to have to make this move done very quickly on Nico Hulkenberg. Into the final chicane we go then, down the inside, there's contact, and we are out of the Canadian Grand Prix. We've hit the wall. There is our view, ripping off the right front, and we've hit the wall of champions. We've gone into the wall of champions, and that is us out of the Grand Prix. Way too aggressive.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So, not the best of race then. It was a very, very good race. Easy, the best race of the season. But just a result, I don't know what I was doing, just too aggressive. We're going to have no points, and what could have been a solid 2 points P9, maybe even, if we did get Hulkenberg further around the lap, it could have been even a solid 4 points, especially after, that was something I didn't mention, we did get points in Monaco. The only drivers to hit score, Albon and George Russell. But yeah, not the best of races, but hopefully we can sympathise with Claire as we go for an interview.
Amazing performance out there.
I'm sorry, what? Amazing performance. Did you watch the same race, Claire? Did you watch the same race? Amazing performance. I crashed.
I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that performance. Into the barrier on the final lap. I don't care about Devon Butler, looking guy. I absolutely made him look stupid down at turn 1 and turn 2.
You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just miss?
I also left my whole right front corner in the wall today, Claire.
It was more like dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it?
I'm not even going to answer that question. You just annoy me now. Like, what do you think you're actually doing?
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, I don't appreciate yours though, Claire. So, I don't know what that was. What was that? So we've won the rivalry with Albon somehow, which is good. But we're losing it with Weber, which isn't so good. We've got a lot of points now, R&D points. So hopefully, let's see, we've got 1,732. So we'll do a couple of upgrades.
Come on, this isn't bumper cars at the fairground. Your results and conduct here matter, so pay more attention. We can't afford too many races like that.
Yes, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been that aggressive, to be honest. I was way too aggressive on Hulkenberg. If I left it for turn 1, I would have got him there. But I don't think we could have got Stroll. But we're going to do a aero upgrade and an engine upgrade going into, they're both minors, going into the French Grand Prix in 2 weeks' time in F1 real term. But it literally a couple of days in terms of gaming terms. So that's it, pretty much it. You can see the what's occurring, and you can see these are the results of Monaco. So if you want to pause that and have a little look, you're welcome to. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry that it was a bit sloppy and a bit messy. Hopefully France is a little bit better. But until France, goodbye.
Amazing performance out there.